How are you doing, Amanda?
I'm doing pretty good, I would
Yeah?
have to say. Yeah.
So you seem pretty confident in that answer, which is good.
Well, I feel like there's been, I'm just, with this being our last session,
Mhm.
I've kind of done a little bit of reflecting back to when I first came to you.
Yeah.
And I'm really
What do you
realizing
think?
there's just been a lot of stuff lifted off of me.
That's great.
Since
Yeah.
then.
And that's usually, that's a lot of times that's what it takes. That's what people need is just that getting it out, talking about it, and it's amazing how much that alone can really help and really be encouraging.
Yes.
So no, I mean that's great that you've reflected, that you've had time to really think about the process and reflect back on that, and you're able to see how far you've come through this whole thing, and you realize that you've done a really, really good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's talk about some of the things that you feel like you've achieved. Like you have come a long way, like you said. Tell me specifically things that you really feel like you have achieved and you've accomplished during this.
Okay. Well, I think the biggest thing is I made the decision to move out.
Right.
To tell Brian, we're friends and that's what we're going to be, and I'm going to establish that by moving out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I made that decision and moved into my grandmother's house, and it has actually gone a lot better than I anticipated.
Okay.
At first, Brian seemed really resistant. You'll remember I told you about that.
Mm-hmm.
But then he just came home one night and he said, in my prayer time, I sensed God telling me I needed to be supportive of you in this decision.
Wow.
And I just really felt like, wow, God was really helping me and looking out for me with that. And
Yeah,
so
it's really mature of him to
it really was.
Yeah.
It was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, kind of like uncharacteristic of him.
A little bit, yeah.
Wow, that's
yeah.
great.
And he also he even helped me pack and move. And
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It really was. It really was. And so he's been available and helpful. If I need some things done around the house and that sort of thing. So I have to say, it has turned out better than I anticipated.
Right.
And a lot of the things I was fearful of like,
Right.
oh my gosh, I'm going to completely lose this friendship completely,
Right.
really has not come to pass. It's
Good.
I think I probably would have done it sooner if I
Yeah.
if I'd known it would.
I know it's scary. The unknown is totally
It
scary,
is.
and change is really scary. And
Yes.
that's, obviously that's the, but the fact that, and it almost sounds like he's getting some sort of therapy out of this as well. The fact that he was able to say that, that he has to be okay with it, and the fact that he helped you pack, it's almost like he's, like you're now passing kind of your, newfound skills or whatever you want to call onto him, and he's kind of picking up on that and,
Sure.
gaining that therapy. So I think
Indirectly, yeah.
exactly, and it's benefiting him, and and so that's great. Well, I was going to actually talk about, I meant to, because you mentioned the house. I know last time we talked about that you were like starting to decorate and get furniture, and that was kind of going to help, be somewhat of a distraction. How's decorating
Yeah,
going?
it's good. It's helped kind of, help me with the transition to be busy and to kind of make my grandmother's house my own, and so
Right.
that's gone really well. And I think just the continued concern is just loneliness of adjusting to living alone.
Right.
And so I've, I started going to the church I told you about.
Oh, good. Wow.
And that's been going well. I'm starting to meet some people.
Good.
I also I've been approached about actually becoming a children's ministry leader
Oh, wow.
at the church.
Uh-huh.
Since I have a background in that, I'm a little hesitant about that just
Okay.
because there's another opportunity where I could just help on an as-needed basis. And I actually, as you know, I've applied and was accepted to start graduate school.
Congratulations!
Yeah, next I was accepted, and
That's awesome.
so I'll be starting graduate school in a couple of weeks, and so I just want to make sure I'm
I'll
not.
keep you busy, by the way.
Yeah. I guess you know about that. But just I don't want to overcommit, and so I'm almost thinking that the as-needed volunteering might be better than the leadership position, because I just want to make sure that I have time to do all my studies, but I also want to have an opportunity to kind of plug into an area of the church where I can meet people where we have kind of common ministry interests.
Yeah, and that would be, I know a lot of churches have groups and small Bible studies, and that could be something great to look into as well.
Sure.
But, and as far as doing the ministry thing and with school, you just always want to make sure, you don't want to spread yourself too thin, because it can get stressful and it can seem like a lot. So especially your first semester, you just kind of want to settle into things and see kind of what's going on. But, being at the church and being around those people, and that's a great support and a great, way to be around positive people. And then what about the codependency group?
Well, I went to it a couple of times, and it was good. It was really good, and then I just kind of got distracted with doing house stuff. I haven't really been back, but what I've noticed is that I am really struggling with the loneliness. In fact, it's kind of increasing the longer it's been since I've been away now. It's starting to really settle in, like I live alone in this house, and I'm just really finding that I'm really missing companionship, and it's like, wow, what do I do with that? So I'm trying to, with the church and stuff, and also I'm going to be intentional about making friendships.
That's good,
with
that's what I'm saying.
You're
going to be with these people.
But I still just feel like I've kind of had locked in my brain for so many years that like I have to be with someone.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, totally understandable.
Yeah.
It's difficult when you always have that person there, and then, they're not there anymore.
Sure.
What's good is Brian is still someone in your life, as long as y'all can keep that boundary, as long as it's clear, it's remain friends, and if
that's really all it was to begin with anyway.
That's true,
but I have maintained boundaries with him, because he'll, a lot of the reasons why, I wanted to distance myself was, him being negative and critical and those kinds of things.
Right.
And even in the friendship, he still continues to do that from time to time, but it's been very freeing, because now I can be like, you know what? I'll catch you later.
Okay.
And then I come back around when he's gotten over that. Whereas when I was living with him, there was no escaping it. And so he just was able to continue being that way.
Right.
And so now I've noticed that if I distance myself, he'll be like, oh, and he'll kind of self-correct a bit.
Okay, I was going to ask you, have you been able to tell him, what you're saying is negative and it's hurting me?
Yeah. I mean, he's defensive. He kind of is against it, and so I've just kind of learned, just to distance myself, and that seems to get through to him more than if I try to get him to see it.
Right. Yeah, and it's a typical man thing. Obviously, that's right. That's. But so as far as the feeling lonely, how else? Once from going forward, tell me some ways that you think you can combat that or cope with that.
Well, like I said, the church and the school thing, but I probably need to start going to that group again. Okay. Because the group you suggested was helpful. Okay. So I probably need to revisit that. And
you don't have to go to that specific one, I mean, because there's lots of different groups out there, and you're so much with those people.
Yeah, now that I've moved, I'm wondering, could you refer me to one? Do you know of one that is closer to the central Austin area?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, definitely. Yeah, we'll look at some of those numbers. I'm sure I have.
Okay.
Because Austin's a great area because there are so many resources, which is great. So there will always be something. Okay. So even if I give you something and you try for a while and you're still not feeling it, feel free to call me, and I'll be happy to give you as many referrals as you need, because I want you to be successful, obviously, and you've come really far.
Thanks.
So I want to maintain that.
Well, I'm really gonna miss you, because I'm really used to coming and talking with you.
Yeah, and that can be tough. Endings can be difficult. It's amazing how starting off you kind of think oh, it's just my therapist. But it can be challenging, when it comes down to it, you've been able to open up a lot to me, and that's been great. It's not like we have to cut off all communication forever. If you ever feel the need to, that you need to come back and see me, please, you feel free to call and make an appointment. As I said in the beginning, the relationship will remain professional, but that doesn't mean, okay, we're done, good luck. I want you to know that if you ever feel like you need to make an appointment, please do so.
Well, thank you. That helps just to know you're there if I need you. I can come in for a brush up appointment.
Yeah, definitely.
If needed.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And then still, for referrals, if the codependency, because sometimes the codependency group, I can understand, isn't for everybody, and it is that atmosphere that some people, can kind of just feel a little bit uncomfortable. It's just different atmospheres for different people, different personalities, you know. And I mean, you have a very bubbly, outgoing personality, very friendly personality, and so I don't really think you have a problem making friends anywhere you go, especially in school.
Thank you.
But do you have any questions, any concerns you can think of right now? Anything that you feel like needs to be touched on?
You know, I really can't think of any. I think that you've done a great job in encouraging me and just helping me feel empowered to be able to make some really big life transitions.
Good,
and I'm just really appreciative to you for helping me with that. And thank you also for the opportunity just to kind of process where I've come, because it's easy just to think about where I need to go, and it's helpful to reflect back and be like, well, I have made some progress in these last few months. So.
Yeah, and sometimes it'll help to write it down, or journal it, or even make a list. Like, this is, write the things down, like all the amazing blessings that you've had the past few months, and the great, the things that you've achieved in the past few months. And just looking at that, then it can be like,
I like that. Yeah.
Oh wow, I've done a lot.
Yeah.
Just seeing it, that visual will really help with that.
I think I'm going to do that, because then when I start feeling kind of like codependent and I can't do things on my own, that could maybe be a strengthener for me to actually see that in writing and be like, well, I can do great things even by myself, you know?
Yeah. So, I would encourage that.
Thank
Put
you
it
so
somewhere
much for
where you
that.
see that. Yeah, you're very welcome. And again, I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.